So basically, I am finished basically with this, with basically the whole entire of the anime. Basically, hands off. Let me what's the name of it? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Hands off. Sawaranaide Kotesashi-kun, whatever how you pronounce it. I wish there was a better way to pronounce it. I'll just call it hands off. I have to say the anime is wholesome. It's educational. It's basically basically in terms in the basic way to learn how to do massages and stuff like that, and how to learn how to exercises and stuff like that. And basically better prepare yourself, like if you have an injury or basically in the future or anything like that. Basically there's not really a whole lot to basically really definitely to talk about, but I would definitely want to talk about some of the very important aspects basically when it comes to into the anime. It's something that's very important. And I have to say Amari is pretty much basically one of the most important characters when it comes basically in this anime, because I definitely think that her story kind of gives more a clarity of a background based on of a story, and it really actually is. And one thing I like about her character is basically is that where she kind of feels like she's in the dumps and stuff like that. She kind of feels like she's very down and just not really a motivated basically kind of person, because basically that ever since that she sprained her ankle, or I definitely would say is that when you have a Achilles heel or sprain your ankle or a broken leg or arm or something like that, sometimes it takes some time for a person to basically heal, and it definitely does. And usually it's basically up to the doctor to tell them to say like, hey, you should be staying at home, you should be resting, take some medication for your leg. Hopefully, it will basically get back up, back up healing again. And usually, it takes a lot of time to basically do that. And usually, a doctor will just basically give you instructions to basically how to better prepare yourself and how to basically massage yourself and stuff like that. When it comes to basic sports and stuff like that, when it comes to bowling, baseball, basketball, NASCAR or racing, whatever you want to call it, football or soccer or whatever it is, golf or anything like that. There's any different forms of injury that definitely gonna happen, or basically like running, or basically like the Olympics or something like that, or basically those different kinds of things, or being at a job that you might have strained yourself or something like that, or basically at a hard work labor job, or maybe that you woke up, maybe not you woke up, maybe that you woke up in the wrong way, and maybe that you strained your muscle, or maybe that you probably hurt yourself, basically you're going shopping or something like that, or whatever forms that you basically definitely do that you're definitely doing and stuff like that. Your body can act in different ways. I think people may not really basically see, but I think that a lot of people may think that like there's something's wrong with your body. If there's something wrong with your body, you probably will probably like, oh, why my leg hurts, why my arm hurts, why my shoulders or biceps or whatever it is and stuff like that. And sometimes it's very important to basically take medications to basically help you make you feel better. Let's say, as for instance, basically, for example, let's say you have a massive headache, you can't get rid of it, and you have a hard time trying to get rid of the headache. So either then you have to take Tylenol, aspirin, or Advil, or any ibuprofen medicine that you probably take the powder kind. You could put it in the drink and stir it, and just basically just take it like that. Or maybe, or basically, like the doctor probably gives you something that can help you out with your migraine. Usually, the doctors will tell you just over a counter, or if your headache is just kind of persistent and you can't do anything really about it, usually basically a doctor will basically do that. Think about this. What about going to the tooth doctor? Or I would say the tooth fairy. I call it the dentist. The dentist is not my favorite. It's not my favorite forte. I do not like the dentist. I fear the dentist is not my forte. It really is not. I definitely would personally that will say that the reason why I'm saying this is basically because I know it's very important for people to also take care of their teeth and stuff like that. And I definitely do understand that, and I know that and stuff like that. And sometimes injuries could burst can definitely could happen basically in your teeth and stuff like that, basically in your mouth. You just really don't even know. You just don't know what basically could happen based of that. And it's just based of that. Now think about this, like when you're having a bad constipation problem and stuff like that, sometimes you have to see a doctor, and sometimes they have to check in your rectum kind of the area, or they probably have to put a scope right down to your your mouth, like a wire thing or something like that, or something like that. I don't know. It's so they can look through the insides. I had it done a couple of times, and you can't eat anything or anything like that. I don't think you have to drink any water. I think you can drink water. I don't think you can. You're not allowed supposed to eat anything or anything like that. You have to take a, like a powdery thing and stuff like that. Supposed to help you to constipate, to basically for you to go to the bathroom. It's such a pain in the ass for not having food and stuff like that. And sometimes it's hard to resist it. Like, oh, I'm hungry. I need something to eat, and it really actually is and stuff like that. I had to deal with that a couple of times. I really hate that really so much. Drinking that stuff, drinking like it's like drinking salt water. And I remember there was like one time I drank like I can't remember what it was. It was flavored kind of. Oh man, it was awful. It was so awful. If you know what I'm talking about, trust me, it's so awful. But I think the anime does kind of summarize basis different those kinds of things and stuff like that. When you base how you take care of yourself and stuff like that. When it comes to your hair, and when it comes to your hair, brushing your teeth, doing exercise and stuff like that, being more vocal to basically to others and stuff like that. And sometimes basically that can basically definitely can help out and stuff like that. And it's very important to basically to do those things and stuff like that. And it really actually is. And those are just some of the things that a lot of people should really basically do. And I promise one thing for sure. Promise one thing for sure. It could really basically help you out. Really basically a lot. Basically for me, I usually go to the gym. Not really every single day. I used to go to the gym like every 2 days, maybe like every 3 days, every 2 to 3 days. Because the reason why I want to, because I don't want to go to the gym like every single day because I'm worried because I'm gonna strain a muscle or I'm gonna hurt myself because I don't want that to happen because I'm afraid something like that's gonna happen because I think you can hurt yourself when you're doing exercises and stuff like that because if you overdo it way too much, person can hurt you really a lot. It definitely can, and that's why it's very important that you shouldn't overexhaust yourself. If you overexhaust yourself way too much, you can pretty much do a lot of physical harm to your body. That's if you're basically doing it right and stuff like that, and basically stuff. I usually have somebody that helps me out. Usually helps me out doing exercise and stuff like that and stuff. And I don't let anybody do any massages basically for me because I'm kind of skeptical based on that because I really don't like that. I'd rather just have just basically usually my loved ones basically like what I mean my family basically helps me out like to do a massage or something like that. Basically I would definitely would prefer basically of that, but I don't feel comfortable when it comes to basically strangers. If it's something basically for a doctor, yes, I'll be more comfortable basically with that, but not just other different random people because I definitely don't feel comfortable based of that. If I don't feel comfortable basically going to a doctor for a massage, I will probably be kind of scared to be honest because I don't know what will they do, how will they relieve basically for me and stuff like that. Especially for older people that definitely do need some very good massages and stuff. And sometimes they need to basically to pop the joints in their muscles and stuff like that, or something like that to give them better reflexes and stuff like that. And I would definitely will say, basically, I think this is I'm not 100% sure or really or not, but I definitely do think hot baths are basically are a very good thing because they help smooths in the body and also as well too. and it can also help to refresh the body also as well too. It really actually does. Really actually does. I don't think we don't have any hot springs around my area. I don't think so. I'm not so sure based around America, so I really definitely don't know. I don't think we do, but we do have jacuzzis, or that's kind of like a similar to a hot bath or something like that, or basically actually hot tub, basically hot tubs. That's what I'm trying to say, hot tubs, because usually people usually basically use that, and usually basically when football players are basically athletes, they used to take like a ice cold bath or something like that. I don't know why they do that. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of method or something like that they definitely use to basically to cool off the body, or they're just probably to basically relax their muscles or something like that. Maybe that's something that they definitely like. Maybe that's their body, or basically their body is supposed to be regenerated based off that. So I think that basically this anime definitely does representations very different cults. Excuse me, not different cults, different methods of exercising, and other different methods and stuff like that based of that. But it is definitely is a very good culture anime. I would definitely say based on the route a man of culture based anime. But it does really does relieve some other different things that can teach people how to exercise and how to do massages based for themselves. And I definitely think it is educational. I will say fan service educational. If I definitely would say one point, just keep a little note for you guys. Principal, best girl. I definitely would say. I think we're going to see her based on probably the next upcoming season. But I anticipate that we're probably going to see a season two. I definitely do think so. I definitely do think there's going to be season two. I'm not 100% sure if it's really actually definitely going to happen, but I'm guessing there is definitely going to be season two. I would love to see season two. Is the story wise, this base is good. It is okay. It's not really the best and stuff like that. I wish there was more dialogue with the other different characters. I really actually was. I really definitely think so. I like the Amori, based of her, based on her art, basically how it explained to her how she played basketball and stuff like that. But I want to see more dialogue, basically with the other, basically with the characters. But I want to see more dialogue, basically with the vice principal also well too, because that's something I really definitely really want to see. And that's something I want to see more often, basically in the anime. But however, we really didn't get to see that really basically really too much and stuff like that. And hopefully we basically get that into season two if that really does happen. But I definitely do think the Amari arc basically with her situation with her basically with her and her ankle and stuff like that. It's 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 not really too much I will basically ask for, but I will basically like a little bit more in depth based on her character. But in some of the other characters, I felt like there was not really that much dialogue based on her character. So I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10. That's just my opinion. So I will basically would hope that basically would hope that basically would hope that it would basically. But I'm pleased with the fan service. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that. But I really want to see more a little bit. I want to see more of that dialogue basically of the in-depth of the characters a little bit more better. But Amori, it seems like she's kind of taking the spotlight based on the anime kind of a little too much based in my opinion. That's what I definitely feel. I really wish that they will just basically quit focusing basically so much of basically of the best girl, and just basically not the other supporting characters basically when it comes to the anime. But yeah, anyways, that's just my opinion. That's just what I definitely think. But yeah, anyways, this anyways, that's it for this video. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down, and please leave a comment below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a day. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.